Hi, and welcome to Culture of Paint. In this episode, we're going to take a look at what's been going on in the miniatures painting world over the last month. For the main topic, it's all about last weekend's Golden Demon happening over in Germany, and we'll close the show out as usual, taking a look at what the paint cultists have been up to. Now, Culture of Paint's aimed at a mature audience, so we might use explicit language and discuss adult themes. So let's talk about paint. Right, we're back in. We're live. It's been a while. Is it working? Yeah, chat's working. Everyone's fine. Right. Hi, everyone. I'm Henry, and joining me as usual are Matt and Andy. How is everyone?
Bloody great.
Yeah.
Good. Just
Yeah.
about still awake.
Oh, I'm all right actually. Yeah.
Beautiful, beautiful,
fine.
no issue journey home. Good stuff.
Chilling.
Hey, and Matt's deep into recording Christmas adverts or something at the moment, right? So you've just got
been non-stop.
Mariah 24/7. Beautiful.
I don't want a lot for Christmas. I just want it to end.
I'm with you, buddy.
Lovely, lovely stuff. Well, hi everyone. Great to see so many of you in the chat. As you'll know, we didn't do a live show in September. We got a couple coming in October, but I hope you guys have been enjoying our more regular weekly podcasts. We think we're sort of finding the groove with them and enjoying them, but it definitely means we're out of practice for the live. So let's hope this isn't just a complete hot mess. But it's been a long time. What's been going on? Let's have a look at some slides. Let's see what's caught our eye the last few last month.
Right. I'm going to change it to the actual gallery so people can see.
Oh,
Oh.
there we go. First good start.
Oh, there we go. Are we ready?
Yeah. I
So-
can't even remember who's up first because obviously I haven't clicked the correct slides link. So there we go.
Mine's
Up
all
first
broken.
Is
It's going floors. I'm pretty sure it's Andy's.
the elf dude.
Yes, it is.
Still
So what a surprise, eh?
I'm waiting for it to load. I can't see everything.
Well,
My computer's just not working.
You know what he's like.
What
Was he? Was Araloth? Was that what he was called originally? I think it was. And then he was generic Wanderer Prince. And now he is. I don't know what he is. Is he even anymore? Not sure. I'm sure soon to be coming back to a square-based game near you. Hopefully.
I've never painted one. And this one, is probably the best version I've ever seen, to be honest. I thought it was amazing.
It's lovely.
Very, very nice.
It was
like the cloak color.
Yeah, really good non-metallics actually. Like there's a little bit of water reflection in there on the chest, and I love the crotch cloth. Yeah, I really, really like this mini. Obviously, with my massive bias, but the paint job is just the style I like. You know,
Yeah.
I never got around to painting this mini, but this is exactly how I'd want it to look. So yeah, absolutely love this one. A little sleeper. I'd have given it a trophy, but there you go.
Do you think you'd paint it still, or is it too long gone by and too many new things you want to do?
I think it's a little this paint job, to be honest, made me realize it's still a good mini, but it's a little dated, and I'd rather a larger scale. Really, it's so small, and I don't mind painting my small miniatures, but no, it doesn't interest me that much.
Well, luckily for you, mate, there's a large scale elf Kickstarter coming very, very soon, so you might just get your wish, mate.
Exactly.
Flawless, absolutely.
I'd love it if they did new ones like this or whatever. But yeah, but
well, I'm hoping if we get the way it's worked so far is most of the old world stuff has been getting a couple of new resin characters, hasn't it? So fingers crossed the Wood Elves get something nice when they get theirs.
Yeah, fantastic modern paint job, I think, on quite an old mini, and yeah, really, really like the non-metallics. I think it went a little under the radar, maybe, but it was.
Falcon is so good.
Yeah, they also did the Khan, the white scar, which I think we might look at later.
I think that's coming up later anyway. Yeah, I recognise the.
They've got it. They've got a style. They know what they're doing with colours. New person to me. I hadn't seen their work before, and that's what's kind of nice about Golden Demon, right? Is you're learning about new painters. And this one for me, when I realized they did two of my favorite pieces, and it was the same person, I was like, okay. But yeah, the style just resonates for me. Really good use of that warm light and everything. Wonderful.
Cool. It's a lovely throwback as well, in it, the Falcon to the old Score model. That the old whatever it would have been, 4th, 5th edition Wood Elf one.
Yeah, I remember being 10 trying to glue those 3 birds on. No chance with that.
No.
No, nice mini. Nice one. That's a good pick, dude. Right. What's up next, Matt?
Up next is
Oh, so sort of a blast from the past, but also still doing stuff. Skibor, Skybor, Cybor miniatures. So this person was doing sculpts like 10, 15 years ago. So when I sort of got back in. And they used to do like these Custodes models before we ever had any Custodes. They did an amazing like dwarf range, all on like bears, mounted dwarves, and things like that. And I hadn't really thought about them for ages. And then this popped up, and I was just like, yes, it's a brilliant idea.
Cool Mini or not
the,
days.
Exactly right. Like you couldn't go on Cool Mini without seeing something on by Skibor. I'll say it like that. I don't know if it's right or wrong. But yeah, also like just a great idea.
Baron
It's
Harkonnen.
unbelievable,
Yeah,
isn't it?
Harkonnen in the and yeah, it's just.
Now I can't look at that thing he's in without thinking it's
without
just Nolan
thinking it.
oil.
Yeah.
It's just really bad olive oil and balsamic vinegar.
But it's cool, man. Like he used to, and he did. I think he did. What's the name? Like balls and things like chaos Christmas decorations and all sorts. Just a very creative sculptor that's been around for donkeys, and it's just it's great to see them still producing good stuff. And
Always in green stuff as well, which is kind of crazy.
Yeah, right. I think they do say in the on Instagram. I think they said they do use a couple of different mediums, but yeah. This was on there. Steph, someone just said in her, James, did we see the new GW wet palette that got leaked? Didn't see a wet palette that got leaked. James saw that nonsense
dry
servo skull thing.
They're making wet palettes now?
They're doing wet palettes, right?
I saw it and I didn't think it was real. Because it looks like a Ferrero Rocher packet with a bit of foam in.
Oh, they love the old
£50
though, don't they? They love the different shapes.
At least it will. At least it means if a wet palette is in store, that they can get new people to the hobby to use that. You know what I mean? So
yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, wet palettes. We all use them. We love them. There's a few people out there who might disagree, but there you go.
They always use a DIY wet palette in the tutorial videos on Warhammer TV, and it's just like just get a wet palette. I suppose they can't promote another manufacturer's one, so they have to build their own.
Yeah.
It's like, oh my god.
Fair. Tom's saying in the chat he learned his sculpting off the Skibor tutorials. That's really cool. So yeah, like I say, like a bit of an OG, and yeah, big cool mini or not heyday.
God, they've been around donkey's years, that website.
Yeah, right. So
RIP.
Super cool. Could be a fake. Apparently, it's from Australia. Well, who knows then?
It doesn't look real. Just saying, but I don't think it is.
Harknellman. Not bad, Adam.
Harknellman.
Not bad. Right. Matt, what's your pick?
Well, as it is the month of our Lord and Saviours, Gork and Mork.
Yeah.
I was worried what you're going to say then. I was like, what's going on here?
Oh, look at that. I know this channel account name. I definitely recognize it. Oh, talk about like nostalgic feelings. Like this has just got Daka forum days written all over it, right?
It's built on the on a Tiger chassis, like a Revel Tiger chassis. I'm just like, yeah, do that. So good.
Love it. We say this all the time, don't we? Like Orc players are they're always having fun. Like
they're special, I would
never
say.
complaining. They're just getting on with it. Every release is an Orc release. You know, it's I love it. I love it. I guess with stuff getting bigger and bigger as well, using these scale kits gets easier and easier, doesn't it?
Just so well done. And like, yeah.
It is nice. Have you done a proper scratch Orc one yet? You fiddled about a bit with the grot tanks, didn't you?
I built a grot tank out of plastic card, and then I regret ever trying to paint it. I should have just left it in the plastic card. But that was the only one I did, and then I destroyed it by trying to paint it, and I got really sad and never built another one.
Look, sub-assemblies as well.
I know.
Gosh.
Very cool.
Nice. I'm loving that. That's great. Yeah. well, there'll be hopefully be lots of wonderful greenskin stuff all over the socials this month. I feel like October's one of the ones that everyone's okay with. You know, like it's a fun gimmick, but no one's
Built
ever
an
really,
orc.
no one's mad, are they? Right at what you call it at orc hobbyists.
I built an orc today. There you go. I was going to
Hey.
send Matt a picture saying you'll be happy with me.
But no, it's a nice one, man. It's a nice one, man. I'm
Very
just trying
cool.
to think if we've got a couple of orcs coming up later on actually as well. So good picks all round. So yeah, without Richie, I don't think we'll be doing a meme, sadly.
No meme. There were memes, but
They're too mean.
too
yeah,
mean.
not to worry about it. Let's just have a quick check what's going on with the chat. Of course, there's lots of you in
Loads.
here. This is exciting, isn't it? 300 odd live.
312.
So what, temper those expectations, guys. Right.
Yeah.
So, Gunpla. Someone said Gunpla. Oh, it's Nick. Yeah, we will. I promise soon. I promise. You know, Todd definitely didn't message me about that like 2 days ago. But yeah, we will. Well, we've got some stuff actually. We've got some stuff from a game system that we haven't done on the channel before coming up over the next couple of weeks. So we're quite looking forward to you guys, what your reaction will be to that. So we're enjoying it anyway. But for the main topic, it's Golden Demon time again. Golden Demon Europe. So we had Golden Demon America earlier in the year, and now it was time for the Europeans to have a go, and it was going back to Germany for the first time since 2018.
2018.
So long old time. It's the only European GD we're getting this year, and this time it was at Spiel in Essen in Germany. So Spiel is just this colossal expo. Started as I think it was a toy manufacturer one, wasn't it? And then it was board games, and now it's everything to do with to do with gaming. And GW deciding to take GD over there this year, and Andy was there on the ground, as it were.
I was soldier on the ground.
And we'll have some footage and some stuff from the actual event coming up in the next day or two on the channel as well. So keep your eyes out
Tomorrow.
for that. So there we go. But we thought we'd take a look at, well, if those of you who watched our podcast from last week, we did a few predictions, which most of you seem to enjoy. Some of you seem to get incredibly upset about that free content, but there you go. That is the internet. But we thought we'd take a look at some of the winners. Firstly, congratulations to everyone who entered, and especially those of you that managed to pick up some of the awards. But yeah, some of the winners, some of our favourite pieces, and just have a little natter around it all. So let's go. What we got?
So first up is the most important bit. Stats. It's the only bit that matters about GD.
Mate, I'm loving these stats so hard. Where do you want to start?
So
where do you want to
preface
start?
it by saying it's not comprehensive. It just happened to be things that I picked to talk about. So if you get angry in the comments, you can.
I thought we need to call the video like the most comprehensive, accurate stat thing of Games Workshop.
There's no such thing as actually. There's just ever evolving data.
Is that what you call yourself?
Yeah.
The ever evolving data.
Yeah, it is infinity, mate. Yeah, that's what we're going to be. That's what we're going to be having a play around with. So first thing, let's get it out of the way. Massive congratulations to Team UK. Not only heading over there with a big old presence, but also taking back so many awards. I think it's awesome, particularly because when I got back in the hobby, it used to be all about like Team Spain coming over to the GD.
9-8, mate.
9-8. UK and then going home. So, Brexit means Brexit. Now, what's
I think you can say that.
Way.
Well, trust me. Right, what we got on there? So one of my favourites was it Pavel who took?
Yeah,
I think it was gold in diorama last time. Also, did the incredible diorama.
He won the Slayer Sword last German GD, and got silver this time. Can't pronounce your name, so Guido got silver and silver, and Jonathan got bronze and gold. They're three people that were at the very previous one and also one in this one.
Strong.
Which is kind of cool.
Really strong. It's super cool, And Andy, were you, when you were over there, did you get a sense of there being a lot of, I'll say locals, but I mean generally by that I mean people who perhaps we haven't seen over at GD UK. But did manage to get to Germany.
I mean, we talked about it because a lot of people were saying, I wish it was in the UK. But I thought, you know what? No, it's nice going to Europe because when we have the UK one, it's like the Europeans are coming to us,
Mm.
and I really liked going there, and there was a lot of the same faces, but then just a few more where it's probably easier for transport and stuff like that. So yeah, it was great. It felt like a lot of people from the Manchester Golden Demon, but with just a handful more, which was fab. So Powell Monstroys, he was at the UK one, and he didn't get anything for his piece in Manchester. I think he was bummed about that. So it's really nice to see him do that amazing diorama and get the silver for. And yeah, he got the Slayer sword before the last time he entered, and I think the piece he did now is better than that one. So it just kind of shows you the strength of this one.
Yeah, absolutely, and there was quite a few. I can't remember what was the stat on the new winners.
So there was 18 returning, so 18 people that had won a demon previously, but 22 new winners.
Awesome.
It's lovely.
That's really good to see, eh?
Yeah,
it's nice, really nice.
Which is kind of what it's all about. New people.
A lot of girls as well. Probably really nice to see. More than I've seen before, to be honest.
And what was it? Why was Thomas up there? I forget the reason you've written Thomas down.
So he was at the GD in 2012, Germany, and that was the last time he entered.
That was it.
I think he said in a post, and came to 2024 and won again.
Yeah, love that.
So,
it'd be good to know who's got who. Do you know off the top of your head who's got the longest gap between demons?
I don't know off the top of my head, no.
Right, I'm going to jot that one down.
Gray will be one of them.
What, 99 to what, 2016, 2014 or something?
Yeah. Then straight in with a sword, right?
That's can you class a young blood as a demon? It's technically not a golden demon.
He didn't get a young blood.
Grey.
Yeah, he got demon prince in the normal category, I think.
Did he?
Look, we know where you can find this. Look, it's all up on Golden Demon Compendium.
Oh,
the most comprehensive, well put together Golden Demon fan site I know.
Gray. Where is he?
And David must have, because
I was just going to say, because David won it in like
87.
Oh yeah,
whenever it was, but I don't know if he entered between and didn't sword.
Gritch Grey Battle Monster, 1999.
Battle Monster. He is a battle monster.
Whatever it was, some demon prince thing. Yeah, probably Grey.
Yeah.
So old Foxhammer in the chats asked, how do you guys feel it was organized for painters and spectators in comparison to Warhammer Fest? I mean, I can only assume positively in comparison. Like, was it easy to get to the... So for context, in Warhammer Fest last year, it was a full sort of circle, for want of a better term, or square of cabinets in one corner of an enormous exhibition hall. One of the biggest issues they had was queues from various other stalls causing an issue with people being able to get to see the miniatures properly. And yeah. That's sort of what was the I've seen a few photos, Andy. It looks like there was some good signage.
There was some issues. So it was obviously had 4 sides, and two of them had lots of room around it. One of them had medium amounts of room, and then one side, which was 40k single and 40k unit, 40k large, had very little room, and you had to queue to enter your entries next to the people looking at the cabinets. And then there was about a half a foot gap. And then there was a paint and take thing. So,
oh my goodness.
Yeah, it was pretty rough. It was pretty rough. So I think that it was all pretty excellent. It looked beautiful. It was a nice spectacle. I think it was one of the main attractions of Spiel, which I want to talk about later. Is really important for making Golden Demon last. But yeah, they just had this paint and take thing a little bit too close. But I imagine that it costs an enormous amount to rent that much space at Spiel because they had such a big stand. So what are you going to do? But yeah, if they just had maybe a meter more room that people could look at the cabinets. But I didn't look at 40k single or unit until about 8 p.m. at night when it was closed because just getting there was horrible. So... But other than that, on the other side, there was bags of room. The side that Albert's Mini was on was loads of room, which was good because there's a big queue for that. So
Cool. Well, I mean, if that's not too boring a thing to start off with, but there you go. Access was positive.
Let's talk about the
But
juicy
let's
stuff.
talk about the actual, the minis and stuff themselves. And I just want to get it out there now. I was super impressed by how quickly the winners were up on Warcom. I thought the photos seemed really good, and I was able to. Yeah, I mean, I think the ceremony was either just finishing or had just finished before they were up on there, which was a really nice touch.
Probably the slickest ever. They were really on time, really organized. They got us. They got all commended in at 3. An hour before, and they gave us a chat on what to do, and there was a really good chat they haven't done before. They also said that you don't have to come on stage for commended if you don't feel comfortable, and you can wait until you've won. Fantastic. They made sure there wasn't 4 commended, which is subtle, but I think they did that on purpose. Really, really good. It started exactly on time. Pretty flawless presentation. Only one little mistake, and yeah, can't fault it. There was more care there, and yeah, just a very slick presentation, and we were done early. So yeah, probably the most on time I've ever been to at GD.
Oh, nice. JWRT helpfully shouting in the chat because it's to do with an audio issue. Why does Andy have a mic if he's not going to plug it in? He's very quiet. So would you like us to make Andy a bit quieter? We can Skype you in if you want. That'd be easier.
It is plugged in, dude. I'm just not very close.
I'm getting some plenty of mic noise to suggest.
You can probably see that
we're in there.
But there's that second plug.
But yeah, let us know, guys, if you can't hear what we're doing.
Also, I've lost my voice, so give me a break.
We're good. Seem to be all right because there's no point launching into it if we can't hear each other. But yeah, all looks good. Audio's good. Right, yeah, there we go. Finally, someone's saying it all ran very on time at a German event. Excellent.
They said that.
So, any more stats you wanted to touch on, Matt, before we dig into the pictures?
Is it really?
The coloured in things. Lovely. I'm loving them. Well done on the stats again, mate. Well done on Compendium. I've been using it a lot this last week. Obviously, I was getting excited about GD and
I added a sort by in the artists thing for you. I heard on the little podcast, and I go, I can't sort.
Well, I'm just saying, you know, being that guy. But no, it's looking excellent. Right, let's go.
First up is
so we're going to go through my favorite picks, right?
Yeah.
So someone
we
shouted out, we shouted out in our sort of predictions one. Angelo, the winningest and still the winningest Golden Demon entrant
67
ever.
now.
So it's not only is it, you know, one of my favorite ever painters for Warhammer, it's also one of my favorite models. So I'm happy.
It's very cool.
Just love it. You know, there's nothing. I'm not going to be like objective here. I'm not going to be any deep and insightful comments to do with any of the painting. I just think it's really fucking cool, and I'm just chuffed to see it.
I think the thing with Angelo is he's consistently good.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't know how he's managed to maintain that level for this long and over that many demons and just keep
because he
going.
just loves it.
He does, man. Like it's one of my absolute favorite accounts. Like I don't do much hobby online. Like I don't, other than outside of work, I don't really look for stuff. But it's just always a positive, uplifting, infectious account to follow because he just loves painting Warhammer. And
that's what comes across, that he's doing the minis because he loves it,
right?
And he happens to bring them to Golden Demon, and he happens to have done it 67 times.
Happens to be incredible, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he had a lot of entries. I think this, you know, everyone's saying this is going to win that, and sometimes it happened, sometimes it didn't. But this was the one where pretty much everyone was saying Angelo's got Old World in the bag because of the lovely banner, the great minis, great base. So yeah, this was the one that everyone thought would win. So yeah,
it's
correct
a lovely
prediction.
It has a lovely sort of way of being incredibly sort of traditional and nostalgic, but still being nice and modern. you know, and I think that applies to the
But-
paint and the minis.
I mean, the minis aren't that old, are they? Or are they?
No, like a couple of months, like
Oh.
what, 6 months maybe.
Yeah, I was going to say, they don't seem that old.
No, and they're well. I mean, I loved it. I would gladly build and paint this kit again. It was great fun. Yeah, just yeah. So this was one of my absolute favourites from the whole contest. We've got guest judge in the chat as well. Roman's there in the chat. So as we mentioned on the previous show, the first time, we can dive into it now if you want, guys. But yeah, GW having a guest judge from outside the company to do Golden Demon, which was pretty cool.
Super important.
Hoping that becomes a thing. Hoping that becomes a trend.
I mean, do you want to talk about that now?
Yeah, let's jump in. Let's do it.
Yeah, I mean, massive step forward having a guest judge. I think that we said before, but having Roman's perspective in particular means that there's going to be some different points of view, and I think that's really important. And I'd love to hear some of the conversations, because I imagine that he made them go, "Hey, think about this," coming at it from another point of view. My thoughts in general about it were maybe there need to be more judges. I don't know if there was 3 or 4, but I thought with so many minis and so much going on, my main thought was maybe if they need to go for like something like 5 judges. And yeah, I think moving forward, hopefully, maybe they can have more, especially with the guest. But yeah, I'd love to see them get someone from heavy metal, a guest judge, some guys that work, to get the IP perspective, and people that know the company really well. Just have a well-rounded team. But I definitely feel that it's getting so big now, and I know they put a lot of hours in, and I think having more would be helpful. But
just from a logistics point of view, having more will cut down time as well.
I believe at Manchester, and this just goes from what I saw, but they had like runners, so people that are taking the minis back and forth, that were also double checking that stuff hadn't been missed, and that was they all seemed to be like heavy metal painters. So it seemed like they had a lot of people in Manchester. Obviously, easier with logistics getting people there, but yeah, I think that if I could, give any feedback, maybe more would be nice. And I expect they probably agree that having a couple people extra to help would be great.
No, for sure. So yeah, that was one of my picks. What's up next, mate?
Up next is
Cracker. This was a great one.
Very cool.
Like, yeah, just spot on, because it's obviously the coolest setting.
I love the animal pattern.
Oh, so good, right? So good.
I haven't seen it yet. My computer's broken.
It's the Escher
model,
mate. It's the Escher bike and the little purr cats.
Yeah, this was fantastic, and it shows how high level you can do something like Necromunda, and it's not like a large diorama, it's a vignette or something like that, but really fantastic. And I felt this really caught the essence of Escher and Necromunda, and was a really high level painting, right? Like the leopard print or whatever was amazing. So I really rate this entry, and it also gives a lot of validity to Necromunda as its own category.
Yeah.
Well, that range is constantly expanding. So it's always being updated. The setting is being updated, so it's not just refreshes of previous ideas either. And I think, as you're saying, like if we're going to be changing the categories around, we're going to be having these new ones. I'm definitely seeing like strong arguments for Necromunda having a place. Like strong,
I think that
strong arguments.
I think this one showed that all the categories have a place, because Blood Bowl had amazing stuff. I'm sure we'll see one. But yeah, it wasn't like a case of having any weak categories at all, really. So I think that it's great how they've got it, and there's just a couple tweaks I would make to make it spot on. But I certainly think that having Necromunda and having Blood Bowl and those smaller categories actually is some very creative stuff in there.
Yeah, absolutely. And Axeface, I completely agree with you on that one, bud. I think get heavy metal involved doing the judges. Their knowledge of the IP always seems to be absolutely amazing. Anytime you talk to them or anytime you see the articles the heavy metal guys talking about what they've done for various box arts. The sort of depth of knowledge and the passion for the IP always comes across. So I think, yeah, big time agree with you there. Heavy metal and some guest judges, yes, please. But yeah, love Necromunda, and some cool, well, I think cool Necromunda minis shown today as well. Some more squats. So I'm very happy. Plenty of Necromunda before the end of the year, which will be fun.
Something I really like in this piece is not. It's kind of in the background. It's on the rock. That stripe across the rock. There's like a striation in the rock formation where like something's happened, like an event. If you go into like geology and all that stuff,
Yeah.
putting that in, that's very cool. I really like that.
It's cool. Andy and I were chatting earlier about this piece. Actually, we were both saying like we're sure we know this person. I'm sure I recognise the name. And if it's the person I think it is, then yeah, I'm super happy for them. And yeah, well worth travelling out there.
Great.
Oh, it's just great, man. And do you know what? It really. So I'm quite nerdy about Necromunda. I quite like it. That they've really focused this sort of last 2 years or so, maybe, on it more so than before. Really mining the very early days of Necromunda, sort of confrontation era into Necromunda and stuff. And there's a lot more of that sort of 80s punk aesthetic to a lot of the thing. You have things like Brats and stuff like that as well. And I just feel like this brilliantly encapsulates sort of that vibe. It's Necromunda's got that. Yes, it's grimdark, of course it is, because it's in the 40k setting, but it's definitely got its own thing. And yeah, just feel like this person's absolutely smashed it with bringing that across.
Necromunda crossed with Blade Runner aesthetics would be on point for me.
Get it done, Matt. Get your entry done. Make it happen.
I need to paint.
Yeah, you need to turn up to bloody Golden Demon.
I know, I'm very sad.
Lightweight.
I was very, very sad.
I was there with the video camera, and everyone's like, "Oh, Matt's got you on the duties." I was like, "Yeah, this isn't for me." I did my best.
That's fairly dark comment there, Rogue Hobbies in the chat. I think possibly thinking she's eyeing up the yellow Percat, thinking I'll have that for a seat cover.
Oh God.
Harsh. But yeah. Oh man, I love these kits. I've literally got them off camera here, wherever it is. Let's go through my Escher today. The kits, the bikes are so good. They're so cool. Oh, here's an interesting one. A complete tangent though. Complete tangent-ish.
Really?
So I popped out my Eschers earlier because I wanted to check something with a basing thing. And I've had them in their carry case for about a year now, since I last played with that gang. And I took them out, and one of the pieces has what appears to be like a tiny little bit of furry like mold on it.
What?
Like, looks like a tuft almost is stuck on them. And I mentioned this to Ben earlier, and he was like, "Oh, I wonder if you used any of the older GW shades, which apparently had like organic compounds and stuff in them."
I heard that some
time. So yeah, I don't know.
Paints.
It's pretty gross, but this is why I was like, "Oh, I'm just gonna have to repaint that gang now." I don't want moldy minis and stuff, but yeah, if anyone's had that happen, let me know.
The old foundation paints, when they first came out, they were like had biology in them. They weren't just a paint.
And that's why they smell so rank, right?
Yeah, they really went off and went bad quickly.
Interesting.
There's a good question I'd like to answer in the chat.
Yeah, let us know. Right, what's up next, Matt?
I think Annie wants to answer this question.
Oh, I thought he was on about that. Sorry, mate.
Now, Evan said, how do judges set aside preferences for certain minis? How do you account for natural tendency to love certain things? Is there a checklist to hyperfocus or technique? But I think that you're always going to have your favorites. Like I said, when we had the Wood Elf, my pick, that was my favorite from Old World, because I like Wood Elves and the paint jobs, my style. But I think you can separate that and choose the best once you've locked in your criteria and things like that. But yeah, I think sometimes maybe I've judged a show and I said, this is my favorite. Maybe I don't place it because of whatever reasons, but you can separate favorite from what you think's winning if you've got the credentials.
Yeah, absolutely. That's very well answered that, mate. I think judging is so important, isn't it? He needs to... what makes a good judge isn't necessarily what makes a good painter, right? And vice versa. So, yeah,
but you
play.
can also be both.
Yeah, well, that's
Helpful.
that's the perfect, right? That's what you want. But then you like say if you can't find that, then get people who complement each other, right?
Yep.
And are willing to listen.
Well-rounded team, and that's why Roman
to
was
each other.
so good for that, rounding that team out, I think.
Yeah, definitely. It's talking of rank old paint, smelly primer. Yes. What was I using the other day? That's really reminded me of smelly primer. Some paint I was using. It was liquid latex, maybe. I think it was, which made me think of smelly primer.
Chaos Black doesn't smell as good as it used to.
The rattle can.
No.
Just, oh, Matt.
Really used to be great.
I mean, I'd say stop doing it, but you probably get more vitamins from that than you do from your diet. So
it's right. I have to go outside.
Next slide. Next slide. Come on, tangents. Come on, tangent boys.
Gets you out.
Next up is.
Okay, so this will be your one then, Andy.
What is it?
I can't.
Oh, it's Jagat I Can't by Saul, who did the earlier Wood Elf.
Yeah, I thought this was pretty incredible. There's a lot of nuanced things in it, which I think made it one of the best Heresy entries. Maybe when you first glance at it, you can't see it, but there's a really amazing use of subtle warm light. It's not really obvious, but the tone in the white armor, it's just got that little shift to orange, and that's in the face as well. And on the underside of the sword, there's the reflections of a little green sash, reflections of the bird's wing. The bird itself is a really good addition to the model, I think, and it's got all the little details. Like every little bit of the bird has the textured feathers.
Oh, so good.
I think the non-metallics are really classy. They're not showy, like cheesy looking non-metallics. I think I just thought this was very tasteful. And the back's got some, not for the sake of it freehand. It's like a big symbol. It's just excellent. Really, really good entry. I absolutely love this. This is probably the best Khan I've seen, to be honest.
Again, with
much better than mine, that's for sure.
So good.
The bird, yeah. Where's Burb from?
Maybe the Underworld set of Stormcast. Maybe. I did paint it, so I recognize it, but I could be wrong.
You did, and you painted him as a seagull, didn't you?
Yeah.
If I remember right, was it? Yeah, was it that? I think so.
Seagull. It was that. Yeah. I think it's that. It could be another bird, but
great shout.
Yeah, made me want to paint a Primarch with Neil's as well. Like seeing this and seeing Neil's made me get the little Primarch itch again.
I mean, he is out. Undoubtedly one of the best sculpts for the Primarchs. I think he's the newest as well. Obviously, is he the newest? Or Big Horus? Big Horus, I think, is obviously the
face
and Fulgrim
is.
Oh yeah, of course, Fulgrim.
For me, it's the face.
Is good.
Yeah,
I mean, it's beautiful.
Probably one of the best.
But that Hawk's a great shout, man. Because I've been looking at this like since the weekend, and I've just suddenly gone, oh, that doesn't come with that kit.
Small edition, right?
Lovely edition. Really nice, and big fan of the color of the armor. Really going much more into that ivory kind of look, and I think cracking. Really lovely. And as you say, a new person to follow. We will put the links to everybody that we mention, as always in the episode. Any work we feature, we'll put the links in the description down below if they are off social media, so you guys can go and check them out and follow them if you fancy it. I've no idea what's next, so let's just keep rolling.
The next up is Dibbo.
Oh yeah, I think this was a joint favourite of most of us. This is perfect Golden Demon fodder for me. Like you've never seen it before because there's plenty of work gone into it. It's super narrative. There's loads of nerdy little things in there that if you know it, you recognize it and you get it. It's just perfect. Perfect. And I believe one of our ones, not ones to watch, but one of our sort of up and comers, right? In the prediction show.
Well, he's getting into more of a triple threat type thing with the sculpting he's doing now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, that's a whole other conversation, but you've got to be now, right? Because no one else can do it.
It's true. It's true.
But yeah, no, go on. You have a natter about it because it's wonderful.
It's amazing. I loved it. It was one of my favorites. It's my painting style that resonates for me. I love Zinch. I said in my video, I recorded audio for today, but I started a Demon Prince a little while back, and I sort of put it to the wayside, and this totally made me want to do it again. A Slanesh one though. I love Zinch stuff. But yeah, it's good to see, such a big conversion. The extra arm is from scratch. I think he did it from Fimo. Lots of milliput work, nice base, but yeah, it's really wonderful. Yeah, just fantastic conversion. It's just what you want to see at Golden Demon, isn't it? I think it's perfect.
Yeah, absolutely. Couldn't agree more. There's just a few questions coming in. I don't want to miss them because I think they're quite interesting. So
got 500 in the
there
chat.
There might be a few to flip an egg. There might be a few tangents on this one, guys. So sorry. So Kieran was saying, how was the heresy category? And I would say the other ones as well. These categories now that are quite a broad range of different types of miniature all being put into one category. And obviously heresy being a good example of that. How was that sort of, was the attendance for it good, for want of a better term? Like lots of entries? How did it look?
Very strong. I mean, that Khan was bronze. So, and there was there was a unit of Sisters of Silence with the Sisters of Silence character. So that showed that they weren't just looking at single figures, but I think the top three were quite clear. They were fantastic. And I think we called three. I think we said 3 out of 3. We got it completely right for heresy. But there was some standout stuff. I think I'll keep it short, but I missed a vehicle category. And I think that having vehicles with heresy vehicles included would be fab. I don't think it will happen, but yeah, you're not seeing like tanks and walkers from heresy winning, which is a shame. You're going to go for a Primarch, aren't you?
Well, this is it. And Arctic, one of our patrons, had mentioned, what did you think of the lack of vehicles getting anything? Because I think other than
got gold,
Jamie's Walker Demon Engine thing,
that's a vehicle.
Yeah, and then the bike on the Necromunda model.
Yeah,
but yeah, I think I'm still very much vehicles should be a thing.
They should be their own category.
I think there's too many cool ones to be sticking them up against an equally cool amount of the large scale, not large scale, but large miniatures monsters. So yeah, but there's good question on that one. But GD's nothing else. They've shown that they're changing. So let's see what happens. And so I can't. You guys keep talking. I'll touch on that one later. But yeah, love this one. Like really, really would like to see this one. Turn it around. People loving the base, the Zinch symbol base and stuff. It's just, I can just picture like at least 2-page spread in White Dwarf on this model, talking about it, and seeing all the different angles and there being fun little Easter eggs and stuff.
The little fish thing at the front is amazing.
The little screamers.
Yeah, it's incredible.
So good. I can't remember what kit they're off, the little baby screamers. It's probably one of the sorcerers. But yeah, just superb. Guys, we're not going to be going category by category. We're just going to be jumping around, picking things we liked. Some of them won't even be winners.
We're going to miss a lot, by the way. We're going to miss a lot of entries. So don't shout, you missed this, you missed that, because we know. we decided a few we wanted to shed a light on. So it's our favourites.
Let's see what's up next.
Up next is Mr. Albert.
Oh, Albert's Orc.
Not that bad. Not that bad.
So we should say 3-time defending champion.
Undefeated in the hardest
AOS
category.
Single miniature. That can't be happening very often, Matt.
No.
And moving on.
It's I'd have to look it up, but no, it's a very difficult category.
I can't tell you what this looks like in the flesh, but it's no photo will do it justice. And I heard, you read the odd critique and comment, and some people direct messaged him some critique, which was odd. But do what you have to do if you need to do that. But in real life, man, otherworldly.
I cannot believe, like, before we get onto the paint, like, go and follow this account. Albert's obviously an absolute legend in our community. Does a lot for the community as well as paints amazingly. But go and follow his account, because I had no idea how much of this was sculpted either. Like
Silly.
scratch done.
It's crazy
Um,
amount.
Especially because there's parts of it that are sculpted that aren't dissimilar to things that do exist. But he's gone ahead and
Yeah.
sculpted it to get it just how he wants
And
it to look.
that's what you got to do to be at that level.
Mate, like, just outrageous. And obviously the staff from the greatest orc miniature ever made still, which is nice to see. Nice to see a nod to that. If I remember right, when he did his two grots a while back, there was a story with linking them, right? I'd love to know if there's some ongoing narrative with this guy, for him. With it all, but I mean, come on then. So in person, you're looking at it. What's obviously it's painted phenomenally. That's kind of a given now. What's stopping you in your tracks when you're looking around it? What's a point of difference on it? You think, oh, I've not seen that before, or oh my goodness, how's he done that?
It's the fine details that you cannot get on a plastic model. It reminds me of Valbjorn's work. You have to add hand sculpted details to get them really fine, and it gives it such an extra 3-dimensional layer. And when you see the teeny feathers like hanging off in the wind and moving, it just makes it feel so much finer and in scale than a chunky plastic gaming model. It's crazy, all the little hollow bits, stuff like that. And just when you look at a photo, obviously dynamic range of cameras and all that stuff, and how your eyes see depth, you can't see it in a photo, but when you have it in the hand and you can see the actual depths of stuff of this 3D object, it changes it. But things like the green, I saw the picture on the way to the show and I was like, wow, it's amazing. But the green in person just jumps so much more than here. Obviously it looks amazing, the face and stuff like that, but the green is totally different in hand, for the better. And the purple smoke is bonkers as well. Oh, hang on, I just remembered a good story you'll like, Henry, because did you see how he made the squig?
No.
So it is the chin of a troll upside down.
They're beautiful.
And the
Red
eyeball
Dwarf
is
reference
and the eyeball is sculpted here on the chin.
Yeah, beautiful.
And
Beautiful.
Just because the squig wasn't quite right.
Have you ever watched Red Dwarf, the
Not
old
really, no.
sci-fi series? Oh, never mind then. It's irrelevant. Move on, because it won't mean anything me saying it to you. Sorry, the chat's coming in thick and fast, guys. So we'll keep we'll keep. Oh, great minds, Jonathan. There we go. Yeah, let's ask him next time we see him if there's any link with the goblins. What do we think of the open? We're going to come on to the open category, James. We have a little chat about that one. What do we think? Yeah, young bloods will come onto those as well. The time's fairly ridiculous, but Albert's at this point, isn't he, where he tends to work on 1 to 2 minis a year, right?
Yeah.
So
this was
there's
7
been
months.
People, yeah.
7 months.
Right.
Yeah.
So
that's dedication.
I literally cannot wait to Monty to come and see it. Like, I'm so gutted I haven't seen it yet.
I'll give it at least a bronze.
That's generous.
What about no? Just give it notable. It's all right.
Generous of you. We've seen it. Yeah, so we've seen it sticker. Oh, so much good. Like even just the bat on the bone. Like,
I actually think that stick that the bat's on is amazing. The totem.
It's all these extra, and again, if you're going to do a shaman, lean into that shamanic thing, right? So you need all of these little, familiars. You need all these your potions, your ingredients, your things like that, and it's that setting the scene, isn't it?
Have you seen the wood grain on the bowl on the floor?
No.
So
what the cauldron? No.
No, there's a tiny wooden bowl.
Oh
next to it.
yeah, in front of the bottle. Yes,
and it's got proper wood grain on it. And he stood originally on like an ammo box with bullets.
Yes. Yeah.
And it's changed it to bones.
Yeah. Well, because I believe it's based on that really old Gorka Morka
a metal model
game stain knob. Yeah, somewhere in.
It's like when you look at the green that he posted. He's sculpted one arm, hand on the other arm. It's like you should just sculpt the whole arm. You've done half of it.
Well, it's interesting. So the bits that jump out to me on it, other than I do feel that and I'm sure it's deliberate, but it's that you've got, if you paint a circle around it, you've got little bits of detail, and then as you go nearer and nearer and nearer and nearer to that focal point, it gets more and more elaborate and dense and stuff. But it's the arms. Like, I love the hand holding the staff. I love the palms being so much lighter, and how cool is it seeing the sort of the jade nails? I don't think I've seen that before on
Yeah,
a
Darren did it
on an orc.
in
Oh,
like
did he?
early 2000s. Yeah, do you remember?
Oh well,
He
I
did
was out of the game. I was on my sabbatical, the early 2000s.
He did a war boss, a really good tutorial in White Dwarf. It was the plastic war boss, and yeah, he did these like
Cool.
turquoisey nails. They were super cool. Maybe 2006 or something like that.
Cool.
It's got to be the leather texture as well on that cape. It's just.
I mean, the sculpting of that on its own, the cloak fur is yeah, and I love that he's used, you know, a 90s kit, and then he's used the new, whatever they're called,
But
the Chaos Beastie Men.
The sculpting and the style is so sympathetic, though, isn't it? To Warhammer.
Yeah.
You know, like some people are incredibly good sculptors, but their pieces can look like, I guess, their take on stuff. This just looks like a from the company, you know, and I mean this only in a positive way. But this feels like this is something that GW would put out, you know, if they could. Something like this is, it's just, yeah.
He's a fan, right? Like he's
imagine it would be a lot of money to produce. And
he's a
buy
fan
this,
of Brian Nelson and whatever, you know.
Right. But
that's the thing, that's the level he wants to go into. He wants it to look as if it comes
from Brian or
right out of the art, just jumps out at you.
Yeah. I think he's smashed it. I mean, I prefer orcs to elves, obviously. As any right-thinking person should, but this I prefer this to the elf. Like, yeah.
I think I was saying it. I said it to him the other day. I think this is his most refined piece. Like, the elf was you know, it's bonkers amazing, but for me, this, I think, has more. It just feels more refined. I don't know if that makes sense.
No, I think that's a really good. I think it's a really good. This yeah, it's very easy to look at too, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, so good, so good. Yeah, really look forward to hopefully seeing this in person one day. Who isn't a fan of Brian Nelson? Correct, Tom. The GOAT for me, anyway. I know other people might disagree, but yeah, that one. So, what's up next? What we got?
Up next is.
Oh well, fair play. If you're going to follow it with the sword. So there we go. So another person that we mentioned in our pre-show clickbait predictions video, Dave Perryman, and he's done it. You know, Andy, you were saying to me, you were like, "Oh, I reckon I know who the sword will be between two people." And you were right.
Quite about a week before, wasn't
at least a week out. Yeah.
Yeah.
So well done, mate. Your record of picking it is still damn strong, mate. I've got to give it to you. So yeah.
Yep.
Beautiful.
Unless there was an unknown turning up. I'm amazing. Hello. Like Gavin Garza, but yeah, everyone at the show was it's Dave or Albert, and I don't really think anyone else had a shot, to be honest. It was those two, and the reason is they both put an insane amount of work in. You know, we just talked about the effort that Albert put into all that conversion work, and Dave put so much work and time into this, you know, sculpting the base and everything. And yeah, he was just meticulous on every millimeter of this model. So I think that either of those two winning would have been worthy, because they just put everything into these minis, and that devotion is something to be admired, I think.
Great to see another troll getting the sword.
I was tempted by this model, and I'm glad I didn't now.
3 big lads, right? Because there was
Maxime.
There was Maxime's troll, there was Chris's giant, and now there's Dave's troll king. I'm liking it. The husky lads coming through with
he said in the
wins.
In the interview that they just put up today from it, that he had to paint it as one piece.
Oh wow.
There's no sub assemblies other than, I think, just the face.
The head.
But oh god, that just no. I'll just stop there and be like, no, can't paint
it. How big is this troll in real life? About that big.
It's like a Coke can and a half.
Yeah. one of my favorite models of the last couple of years they've done. I think he's yeah, just about the perfect troll. Great story about him as well. But anyway, that's not the paint job.
There's an interview with him, by the way. I think it's gone under the radar a bit, but there's a Warhammer official interview, and yeah, just what a humble, lovely person Dave is.
Make sure we'll pop that. I'll jot that down. We'll pop that in the description.
So well done.
So if you've missed that, yeah, absolute cracker. Again, would love to see this in person. Again, this style in particular, right, really benefits from being held.
Yeah.
I think you appreciate that. Andy and I were saying that that meticulous level of sort of fine detail and accuracy.
I mean, the finish on Albert's and this is like nothing else, right? And you've got two Slayer sort of winning models there. That's the thing. I expect that Dave probably thought Albert's going to win it, and I think Albert thought Dave's going to win it. You know, it's kind of like that. It was like
that's what you want, though, right?
It was like Maxime and
I was going to say it was like
Manchester,
Maxime and Albert. The other, yeah.
You could just see the two in the running. So you know,
you got these two titans. It's just like, oh well, they win.
Absolutely, absolutely. And how was the? Sorry, Matt. What were you going to say?
I was going to say the interesting for me is because obviously Dave does all of his Patreon stuff as well. The entire process of this painting is documented. You can go watch him paint this start to finish and see what it actually takes.
Love it. I can't remember what I was going to say, so let's move on to the next slide.
You said, how was the something?
How was the ceremony? Sorry, my thing's running out of battery, so I'm just going to plug it in. Yeah, how was the ceremony? Because obviously we loved the one at Manchester in the theatre.
Not quite as good as that, because you didn't have the angled seats. Really, really well put together, as in, you know, it ran slick, as I said already. But yeah, fantastic, I would say. Not quite as good as Manchester, just because of the room, but absolutely brilliant. Couldn't fault it. Plenty of space. Not as rowdy as America. I love the ceremony. I love the ceremony in America, man. You know, everyone shouts and applauses, but it just it lasts a little longer in the US. And I love my American friends, and I love going to Adepticon for that atmosphere. But yeah, can't fault it. It was fantastic. But the Manchester one, I don't know, there was something about it. But it's really cool. They got this yellow going on in the background and that.
It's nice branding, isn't it? I like it. Roman just saying in the chat, you know, almost brought a tear to his eyes, seeing the happiness of lifting the sword. That, you know, the amount of effort and passion and the amount of themselves people pour into this work, and then you go and be with others that have done the same. When you're given the venue, like say Manchester was, where it was everyone crammed in, quite grand because you had the raked seating and the stage and all the rest of it, you forget any little clunky bits, because it's that moment of everybody else simply wanting everyone else to do well and be happy. And it, you know, it is emotional. There's no two ways about it. You know, and it should be. You know, this is huge achievements that people are pulling off here. You know, I think it's yes, just wonderful. So yeah, congratulations again to everyone. The little flying squigs, the little bat squigs, lovely little touch, that one.
Yeah, it's a lot actually.
So, which just, do you know what it is? It's a nice little scale thing, isn't it? As well, like little nod. You know, I guess you can't just put your thumb in a piece when it's in a cabinet. So you got to use another miniature. Right, what's up next, Matt?
So up next is some of the ones that didn't place. So
some more that we really liked.
Yeah, that are favourites anyway. So
I was sharing this one like a lot in the weekend, over the weekend. Yeah, man. Arnaud's Dante, follow up to his Mephiston.
Just mad.
Do you want me to say something?
It's difficult, man, because, like, you know, we're not here to judge these pieces. We're not here to necessarily offer a particularly deep insight, you know, from that technical side of it. But equally, you don't just want to spend 2 hours going, "Oh, that was amazing," and that was amazing.
I think Arnaud said in one of his posts that for him, this is the best 28mm that he's ever done. And I think that's where he's most proud of. It's the most sort of refined one he's ever painted in 28mm.
This is my favourite Dante I've ever seen.
Correct. Agree.
Ever.
Yes.
And it's not close.
No, it's the best.
I mean, I'm a big
Finished
fan
Dante.
big fan of Arno. Yeah, finished. Yeah, good point. It's very interesting you said that, Matt, actually, about Arno, because of course, Arno, I suppose I do associate with being more of a larger scale painter, but that's he's just a prolific painter, isn't he? But I do wonder if there's some. I suppose you could talk to you about it, Andy, on another episode, perhaps. Talk about the differences, the challenges, and the rewards of painting at the different scales.
Arno just understands color and atmosphere more than most people at the show. And maybe it didn't win due to things like rendering, cleanliness, blending, all that boring stuff. But the use of color and light, the understanding of non-metallics is leagues ahead of most. Look at how well balanced the color composition is. It's the orange ambient on the Tyranids is incredible. And yeah, the non-metallic gold is truly convincing. And I think the composition, keeping it tight vertically is really interesting. Just the width of the plinth. And I think the subtle conversion work on Dante, leaning him really downwards, shooting down and looking down, really makes the sculpt work, right? So really cool to see.
Yeah, I think as well, it's you pick a character as iconic as Dante. You pick the devastation of Baal. You pick such a momentous thing in the background, and you're going to come and bring it. It's nice when you can pull it off when you've got the chops to pull it off. I showed this to a few of my friends that are sort of hobby adjacent. They're nerds, but they don't game, they don't paint, but they might look at the odd model. And usually they're the ones that send me photos of Kirill's stuff, and they're like, "How does this look like that? Like like what's he done?" And this was the same sort of reaction when they saw this piece.
It may just be the background, but the gold is glowing.
Mate, do you know what it reminds me of? It's like when, I don't know if I've got it behind me somewhere. Not the edition of Age of Sigmar that's just come out, but the previous edition of Age of Sigmar, the rule book that you got in the box, the big launch box, there was this wonderful piece of art by Thomas Elliott of this character called Indrasta with this spear and coming down amongst all these demons, and it was so fresh and unlike what we'd seen previously for AOS sort of presentation. I guess this just kind of got different. Like,
shout out
if 40k came back, I know it's not gone anywhere, but if 40k came back and this was kind of the visuals, I think it's exciting. This is a very long, convoluted way of me saying, like, I really love this person's interpretation of 40k.
That was my comment on it. I said this is my favorite diorama in the competition, and it's what I imagine 40k looks like in my head.
There you go. I knew there's a reason why we're business partners. Right, beautiful. And yeah, I don't know either why. I agree with lots of those comments in the chat. So what's up next?
Next is old Mr. Grey.
Ooh,
I'm sad. This makes me sad.
I think it made a lot of people sad. But I imagine it made a lot of people that were there incredibly happy too, seeing this.
Confusing sad.
We saw. I mean, if we're taking total paint time, years in the making. But I'm glad to see this one finished, and I know you were really excited about this, Andy. Obviously, you're good friends with Rich. You were seeing a lot of this, during the journey of him completing it. And I think you said to me it was basically your favorite 40k model you'd seen for years. The paint job.
It actually makes me feel the feelings. It makes me genuinely quite sad, because I really enjoyed chatting to Rich and in the run up to GDs, and I really enjoy feeding off each other, and I respect his feedback on anything I've done a lot. And as he was, showing me whips and stuff, I didn't say to him, but I was like, he's getting the gold this year. I was sure. I was like, no one's touched a 40k model. Like this is really, really good. And he obviously had he didn't do well at the last one at Adepticon, and I didn't think that was quite right. But I thought this time, nah, he's getting the gold. I can't see him not, unless something crazy kind of turns up. And I know he put an insane amount of work in it, and I was upset for him, and I felt awful when I didn't do anything with my elder in America. I felt really terrible. I have to be honest about it. I didn't feel good. And I just thought he must be feeling the same way. And I think it only got to the notable level. And then above that is finalist, then commended, then a place. So it didn't get anywhere. It was, and I don't want to disrespect, talk bad about the judges. And this is why I said maybe there should be more, because I can only feel like it was possibly overlooked, because I can't see how they didn't give it. Well, I can't see how they didn't give it a trophy, but at the very least commended. I don't understand. I talked about it with Rich, and I thought what he said on his post was very classy.
Mm-hmm.
That he focused on the tiny details when you're holding it like this under a bright light. But perhaps what he needs to do is do something with wow factor that stands out in the cabinet to make sure it gets looked at, and then have the details as well. So I thought that was very good of him. I think that. I think he can really take it. I think a lot of people would probably give up with some of the losses he's had, and fair play to him. Keeps coming back, keeps kicking ass. So
his next thing's going to be pretty special. I was having a little chat with him about it. Yeah, he's not going anywhere. I expect him to come in swinging at the next one.
The texture in the back of the cloak of this thing is.
Yeah, do go and follow his account. Like there's some nice photos of the back. Yeah, it's really.
He did the back for once,
Which yes, again he also acknowledged. So
there's so many subtle things like reflections from the ground, reflections of everything going around it, and no one else was doing that in the 40k category. So I personally felt that the level of painting was ahead of many things, and I don't want to. You don't want to take anything away from the winners, but for me, I think this should have won personally. But there you go. But you need to look at the minis in hand and things like that. But you never know what happened. But it felt like it was missed, because from the back you can just see the black jetpack, the black cloak, and maybe a simple base. But we'll never know. So, but anyway, it's amazing. I'm sad. And roll on the next one.
Roll on the next one. The chat sort of all agreeing. Travis asked in the chat, how do you get his minis reviewed to get some advice on what to improve to win a GD? So Travis, if you're not already, there's some good discords to do with miniatures painting, where people are generally quite supportive, and if they're not, just fucking ignore them. But generally really supportive. And you've got a lot of high-level painters now will offer coaching as well. So it's worth just reaching out to them and seeing if people will, someone's style you respect, or someone you know of is a good painting coach. Then just reach out, and you can not commission them, but you know what I mean. You can get some time with those guys to help you work on what you want to improve with. So he can re-enter it and win gold. Yeah, that's true, Chris. He can. Rich can just tweak this, come back, and win gold next year. Right, what's up next, Matt?
Up next is possibly one not a lot of people have seen.
Oh, it's a belter, this one. So firstly, Marshall Watch. Andrew, what were the final figures?
Oh, I didn't count.
Oh, unbelievable, Jeff.
I was too busy having a good time. There's so many things I forgot to do at the show. I think this is an exclusive. Is it an exclusive?
He hasn't posted on socials as far as I'm aware.
Ooh.
So Sten Froden, one of our lovely Swedes, amazing painter, wins very, very often. I think many people, including Albert, said, "Hey, this one's getting a silver for sure." I'm not sure. I don't think it even got commended. I think it got finalist, which is bonkers. Yeah, I think it's absolutely fantastic. He hadn't posted anything on socials yet, and I really wanted to show it. So yeah, we reached out, and he kindly let us show some pictures of it. I didn't realize the conversion work was based off of an artwork, which is really, really cool. So with the lance, I thought that was a really classy conversion, and the change of the face and stuff like that.
But do you know this is why you need on the Golden Demon judging team, you need the IP nerds as well. You need someone in the judging team to go, oh, that's that bit of artwork from our X book or from whatever, right? Because there's, I just think you have to. You can't not have that knowledge there.
They used to have it in Alan Merritt,
right?
It was an
Exactly.
IP
Yeah.
encyclopedia.
Yeah, and I know, in the past, I added bits to my entry specifically because I knew they had that IP judge there, and I thought, oh, they'll get a kick out of this, as will the other two nerds who recognise it. So yeah, yeah, it's frustrating. But I mean, Sten took home a fair few statues, didn't he, last year in UK? I think.
Yeah, did the Avatar?
He had the
and
Avatar, didn't he, and something else? Yeah.
Yep.
But yeah, wicked piece. But yeah, but no marshals featuring in the on the podium.
No, and we had, of course, Fat Sid, the Green Marshal.
Yeah. How did that go down? Go down
that was
well?
commended, rightly so. Didn't get a top spot. But yeah. Another one I feel sad about. I think that not getting a demon sucks when you're at this level like Stern, but I think commended is slightly softens it, and I don't know why this wasn't at least commended. It was fantastic. The rock texture I've not seen done like that before, but it looked really like sort of granite. But yeah, very different take to rock texture that I think it really pulled off.
Yeah, it's really cool, isn't it? And the
amazing
badger,
freehand on the shield
rightly.
as well.
Everyone enjoying the badger there. It's all about critters on bases, and they keep giving them to us. So someone reckons there was 15 there. Wento reckons there's only 6. He reckons Usharam was one of the most popular.
It was, yeah.
It's an amazing mini. Some amazing mini. Super fun to paint. Yeah. The badger. Yeah. Stellar. You'd have to think a shoe in for when GW do their miniatures of the year. If something's going to knock off a 40k miniature from its throne, that gnome team's got some strong candidates.
Yeah, we need to band together on that.
It's never going to happen, is it? It'll be some. No, I'm not going to swear. So next one, Matt.
Next up is.
Oh, cool. Who's picks
I
this
can't
one?
See it.
It is an orc mega boss in Mega Armor. This is Matt Kennedy's orange and yellow one.
Yes. So this, I think, was one that many people were shocked didn't place in the open category, because they seem to go for there's some inconsistency, but in general they seem to go for quite technically clean rendered stuff, as looking at the Slayer sword and stuff like that. And in other words, they're looking for heavy metal, really refined, and it doesn't get more refined than this. He's an heavy metal painter. It was absolutely fantastic. The little conversion to the casual grot on top was a really nice change. So yeah, I think there was a few shocks. I think like Rich Gray not doing better, and I think this was one of them. I thought this was a safe bet. Heavy metal painter placing in the open category.
Yeah, I mean, we might as well talk about open. A few people have mentioned it in the chat. Also, this mini I think is wicked. It's a bit of a sleeper one because it came out amongst loads of other orcs, but it's you've got to get the mega boss right, and I think they smashed it with this one. Yeah, you've mentioned the shocks, Andy. The certain people that you surprised the pieces weren't more highly awarded. But I think for me, one of the biggest shocks as the casual viewer shocks. The open category just seemed very odd. I've come to expect, and this is not to denigrate anything that won in open at all. This is it's simply an observation of it. Generally, when I look at open, you often find something quite unusual. Yes, it's obviously the staff enter, so you'll quite often get some really nice sort of heavy metal style pieces in there as well. But generally, something deserving of a separate category. But it sort of looked like the 40k single miniatures category. I know it wasn't just 40k single minis, but do you know what I mean?
There was
I
there was
don't
a
really
lot of
understand. I know some
yeah.
things have changed, but I'm just a bit confused. Nothing to do with the quality of the stuff. It was just maybe the content. Yeah.
I think that a lot of people talking about it's a shame that they banned collabs because
Mm.
look at the difference between the Manchester winners and this one, the big elaborate pieces. But I still understand why they did it because it isn't
Yeah.
an even playing field. Thibaut, he just learnt to sculpt, so fair play to him. He did an orc war boss or just an orc on a pig, and everyone was like,
Yeah,
"Oh,
yeah.
you're not allowed to do collabs." And I went, nope, he learned. He saw the rule change and he went out and learned. So that was really great to see. But I think it's fine for it to be like single minis again. I thought the gold winner was fantastic, like a really nice classic looking jewel.
Classic looking jewel, right? But again, this is where I'm unless they're a staff member, I guess maybe that's why
Yeah.
why it's in open.
Well, same with Matt. With he's obviously
Yeah, obviously staff, so it's got to be. I get it. I just I don't know, man. I thought all three pieces were really lovely and very clean and very clean, like you said. Even the ultramarine that I think's caused a lot of commentary. It's like a perfect box art ultramarine, right? It's just lovely.
Well, it's a Christian's. He painted it with the tutorial that Dave put out, that
Oh,
ultramarine
nice.
tutorial on YouTube. He only brought it to show Dave, and then he just chucked it into open. And he has put a post out because he did say he was confused.
But also, this is what I don't like. No one who's got an award at this competition should be made to feel
No.
anything other than absolutely 10 feet tall and like they've absolutely smashed it. But I don't know. Open. I think combining diorama and duel, I'm still struggling with as a fan.
No,
I think
should be
I
separate.
like them separate. But also, open was just a chance to see something that didn't belong anywhere else. And maybe in the past, the fact that the heavy metal team have always been so far ahead of generally what other people can produce, that often meant that their pieces stood out simply on those grounds. But like when I think back to like your Mike Anderson sculpts, and I don't know. I don't want to be negative. I don't. I was just a bit surprised at that category.
I think this was this. Yeah, every category is subjective, of course, but this, and then sometimes you go, okay, I don't agree with that, but fair enough, there might be something. But I found this one probably the most confusing because it felt like, okay, they're going for the heavy metal style stuff, which is absolutely great, and I feel like, well, it's an heavy metal painter. This it's just so good, and I'm completely guessing here. This is my personal thought, but it felt like this mini was overlooked. But I don't know that. They might have looked at it really, really close for a long time and still decided. But it just felt like that because if you're comparing the others, I don't see why this one wouldn't. So, but we'll never know. Yeah, hopefully, hopefully he comes back and does something bigger and better.
Kennedy will always come back.
Yeah.
He can't
Still the best
resist.
celebration. Now the chat's hotting up a little bit around the judging. Guys, we're not going to be like slagging people off. That's not who we are as a company. It's not what we're here to do.
That's for the after.
Hopefully from watching us and from our own competitions how much we think the judging element of something needs to be respected from the person putting on the show's point of view, not from the punters, to show respect to the people that are entering the competition, to show respect to the history of the competition itself. They deserve the very best that they can be given, because these painters are giving their very best to that competition. I don't think they're getting that from Golden Demon at the moment, and I would like to see that improve, as I think a lot of people would. But that is, that's a good thing. We always want to see it improving, right?
It is improving though,
And agreed. So let's, I don't want people to think we're, what's the word, shilling for GW or anything like that. That's not there. But what we are desperate for there not to happen here is for anyone that has entered Golden Demon in Germany and won to feel shit, because they should not be made to feel like that, and they should not feel like that. Their pieces were wonderful. The massive congratulations to them. So yeah, let's keep looking through a few more that we've got.
Well,
there's Sten's nemesis coming up soon, isn't there?
well, there's just while we're on that topic, my positive thoughts with Spiel were all the things they've improved and they're working on, and I definitely think Golden Demon maybe isn't something that makes money for the company. So if there's loads of negativity around it, the higher ups could just can it. If people are always moaning, saying the judging's bad, whatever, maybe the higher ups go, this doesn't make us any money, just get rid of it. And we don't want that to happen. So I'm not saying we can't critique or anything like that. But what was really good about Spiel was it really was a spectacle. There was not like many activities to do. There's just board game shops. But then you had this massive presence of Golden Demon, a painting competition. And it was one of the real amazing attractions for people to look at. And what I hope is that GW see it as something that can genuinely recruit new hobbyists and is a real positive. And that will mean that Golden Demon keeps getting love. If it does, then they could maybe add more judges, like I said, and maybe they can get in the budget to fly over some heavy metal painters to help up the size of the judging team who's there. So we need Golden Demon to be successful. And I think when you're critiquing anything, you have to stay reasonable, because if you're just horrible about it, I think everyone agrees and everyone knows that it looks like there's a little bit of inconsistency, but they've obviously tried their best. I've got faith and trust in Roman. I know that when you've got so many minis, you can miss a couple, and maybe that's happened, maybe. But I'm sure they'll continue to work on it, and they've shown that it's growing, because we've got a guest judge, we've got a better running ceremony. It's going up on Warhammer Community, so
yeah, it's going up quicker. It's got good branding. Yeah,
Golden Demon is growing, and hopefully the success of Spiel means it gets better. And I'm sure we just need to feed it back to GW in the right way, so we get an even better judging team.
I mean, Tom makes an interesting point there. Do you pay more for GD, and then you get?
Well, we did. It's the first time I've ever paid.
Well, this is it. Would you have paid more for a better GD?
I'd pay to fly Max Edge out first class, mate.
But this is it, right? But then you see, I pay my vehicle tax and my council tax, and expect the potholes to get fucking filled in, Tom. So it's tough, isn't it? Sometimes when the money goes to these sort of faceless monoliths.
It's the first time I've paid for Golden Demon.
Manchester.
Did we?
Yeah, it was a separate ticket on Manchester.
Was it? Oh, fair enough.
I can't remember.
I mean, we're talking about pricing for MPO and stuff. Like it's these things aren't.
I think something that people do have to also take into account is, GW is a big machine now. It takes a while for policies to change. Like you can't.
That's what I mean.
Drop of a hat, change something.
But they could just can it,
Yeah.
It's if there's a massive backlash online or whatever, then
not do that. I'd have a lot
get rid of this.
PTSD if they did that. A lot of hours wasted.
You're fine. Golden Demon's going to be fine, but you just got to keep fighting, right? You'll keep fighting for it to be as good as it can be, and it will be. But be angry, be happy, feed things back, and hopefully the right people are going to be allowed to make the decisions.
It's in good
and it will
hands,
keep
is all I'll say.
yeah, it will keep growing.
I believe it's in good hands, and I believe that it will only get better.
So well done, Matt. Mega Orc. What's up next?
So this is the last one.
Oh, it is. So
Yeah.
Sten's Nemesis.
The Nemesis.
Yeah, I mean, this is. I'd have this quite happily on the shelf back there. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. I'm kind of biased with this one. I love this person's painting, and I love all of these models, like 9 out of 10, or 10 out of 10. Some of them. So, what more? What more to say?
I love the Fury. I think it's really cool, and it adds such a good level to the composition, right? Filling out that backspace, and yeah, really, really good sort of coherent squad, even though they're very different miniatures. It didn't felt like it was like a greatest hits. It kind of worked. I believe he was doing single mini and just decided to keep adding to the minis, which is super cool. And I don't know what the little thing with the cloak bending down is called, but
it's an amazing, right? It's just a sorcerer. But yeah, super cool minis, right? I do, it feels like an 80s cartoon, like opening shot, like of
like a
well, the Dark Oaths do anyway, right?
Yeah, well, and they've got one, haven't they? They've got an animation on this particular guy in the middle, but Bran, something like that, has got an animation about him. But it's just got that vibe, like it needs some music over the top of it, right? Yeah, and I don't know, it might sound weird. I really like the big round base under them. I don't know what it is about the basing, whether it's because it's quite
oval,
simple.
maybe?
It's just something's cool about it, right? Like they've got loads of room to just be on there.
That's a really important thing, I think. A part of the composition is how much space do you give them, because you want everything to be tight and not waste space, but you also need that room to breathe. And I think now we have the leeway to do whatever we want with squads. It's super important. Certainly I agonized with both my entries of the amount of free space, and when I did my diorama before with the trees, the tunnel with the vampires, I definitely didn't get the sizing right on that one. I could have composed it tighter and it would have benefited. So I think that balancing that is difficult, and I think that's part of the skill that's added. Now you don't just put them on little gaming bases, and certainly I look for those little things like how well composed the spacing is, and it's really important. But it's why I like the Fury at the back, because it just fills out that space so nicely. You can see all the individual minis, but there's good work going on.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, again, great account. Go follow. Look forward to seeing these pieces, hopefully, in person in the future. Right, what's up next, Matt?
That was it.
That's the lot.
Yeah.
That's it. Blimey, we've been going nearly 2 hours. Fair play. Yeah, so as we said, guys, we've missed out tons. There were loads more that was wonderful. I thought the Young Bloods, again, like terrifying. Particularly there was a Marine. I think it took gold or silver.
Yeah, silver.
Just like, come on, what is going on? Like, yeah.
They're all taller than me as well.
I'm terrified at where we said this after Warhammer Fest last year, and actually Josh asked in the chat, when did we think the last really strong judging lineup was? I think that was a really strong judging lineup at Fest last year, when you've got someone like the heavy metal team doing it, supposedly, allegedly, but
had to peer through the coals.
yeah, but yeah, I mean, seriously, Youngbloods they're too good. They're too good.
Well, there was worry. There was worry at like a one Adepticon where there was no Youngbloods entering, but I think that's the one where they made it 18 plus or something.
All right. I'm just looking at now the
16 plus, wasn't it?
And then the sword on the Slaneshi.
Space Marine.
What's his name? No, on the bronze. Sigvald. The sword's outrageous. like the NMM. It's just, I love them. Just well done. So Henri, David, and Max, like, just amazing work. Like, yeah, can't wait to see what you guys produce over the years.
And you have to like, especially with the young bloods, you have to give it to the parents as well. They're bringing them to these
stealing their
events.
credit cards for Patreon.
Like,
Go on, kids, nick your mum's credit card and sign up.
Well,
for Cult Paint Patreon.
tickets to Spiel weren't cheap, right? Like getting to Spiel in
Euros.
general, right? It's not a cheap weekend.
Well, the only one that had the GD ticket was the full 4-day ticket.
Oh, don't get me started on this
€70.
this thing. It's sold out. I couldn't get a ticket.
Did it?
Well, there you go.
Yeah, I went to buy my ticket. It sold out. But I wormed my way in. I bought a day ticket and yeah.
Oh, so
managed to
Chris
get it.
is bringing up in the chat. I was going to say this when I saw the picture of Dave lifting the Slayer sword. He didn't have a glove on or anything. Is that just because the sword is just the pressed bit of steel now, right?
It's like rounded on the edge. It's not sharp, but it's pointy.
Right. So he's all right though.
Yeah.
He's not like never going to be able to paint again.
Yeah. It's only sharp for some of the, what was it, one of the French ones. I think it was Albert that cut his hand open.
Yeah.
Love it.
It's like,
he's done all right. He's recovered. He's recovered. He's been okay. But yeah, guys. So I hope you've enjoyed that sort of recap of some of the winners and some of the pieces that stood out for us. Just to reiterate again, just congratulations to everyone who entered, everyone who placed, to Dave for taking the sword. That's Infernal Brush. Again, we'll have all the accounts down in the description.
Already there.
There you go. Good lad. Yeah, just roll on next year, which we at the moment are assuming will be at Adepticon, and then no idea, right?
Hope so, because I've bought my ticket.
It's not officially be confirmed at Adepticon, but like 99%.
Sure, but it'd be really interesting what we get for the European. Yeah, like, are we going to see Germany again? Are we come back to the UK? Are we going to get a UK and Europe one? Are we going to get Italy? We can get Spain. What we gonna be seeing? It's gonna be fun.
I think we're going to get Spiel again. I think we'll get Spiel because it's such a good event. And like I said, if you're going to have it there to recruit new hobbyists, that's the place to go. But maybe, a lot of people have said, hey, maybe they'll do a UK Games Expo, and yeah, maybe they will one day. But they seem to want to tack it onto other big events, and that makes sense. And for me, it's whatever makes it continue. And if it means they can put more money into it because there's going to be so many eyes on it, that's fantastic.
Too right. More people see it, the better.
And if you need to know, Spiel next year is the 23rd to 26th. They've already announced it. So get your hotel booked because they're already being booked up.
Love it. Right. So from that, let's shift into some paint cultist.
Wait, we've got one thing just
before
it.
Oh god, what have we got? Oh yeah. Ooh. So if that's got if that's wet your whistle for painting comps, MPO Online. We're back. We're doing it in November this year. The whole of the month of November. There's videos up about last year's. You can go on the Miniature Painting Open website and see the previous years and get an idea of how the contest will run. A handful of little tweaks we're making for this year, mainly sort of quality of life type things to do with entry forms and stuff. Matt has been beavering away on that side of it. We've got a guest category, as it were, for this year. So last year we did critters. This year we're going to do a category called Rust in Peace, which is for all your sort of manky, rusty, corroded things. But we'll have details up about that over the next few weeks. But again, it's all about celebrating stuff you've done this year that you want to show off. We'll all get together, do loads of judging. We'll have a nice award show, probably not live, we'll have an award show, and just get everybody, seeing that work from all around the world. And it's what were the numbers last year, Matt? 2,000-3,000, something like that. It's lots of stuff.
Too many.
2,000.
Yeah, so it's good. It's got lots of really, really cool minis to see. So that will be up, I say, running for November with awards early December. Right, paint cultists. Hashtag paint cultists. So I've plucked every single one for this month's from our Discord. That is because Instagram is a piece of shit now when it comes to searching for things. Sadly, once they sort their hashtag thing out again, hopefully it will be good. But you've got thousands and thousands of paint cultist hashtags on there. So if you want to check out different accounts from perhaps miniatures that you don't often come up in your algorithm, different styles of miniatures, different paint styles, it's a great one to follow. I only don't like it because you can't search by like most recently posted very well. You can still see them all, so it's great to just scroll through. But yeah, lovely to follow. But we've also got a paint cultist channel over on the Discord as well, which is where I plucked all of these ones from. So yeah, I've just taken a look back over what was chucked up in September on that and picked a few that stood out to me. So what we got?
First up is
a Durgin Forge, I think it's called. So this was about a year ago. We did a small producers. It would have been Christmas, wouldn't it? We did our small producers episode, and I think it was Rich picked this miniature producer, Durgin's Forge. I think that's how you pronounce it. And one of our favourite painters decided to paint one. It's kind of cute, and he's just looking like a dwarf, really.
I like the trees.
Thrilled,
nice.
Thrilled to be there. Yeah, love, like this excellent painter, and always happy to see a dwarf miniature done. I can't think. Was it Rich saying he bought like a lot
of them?
Yeah, a lot of dwarfs from there. So,
there's a new one I really want actually.
Well, you've got a lot of dwarfs coming anyway, haven't you?
Oh no, I forgot about them.
When does that little thing here? Well, actually, that's interesting.
Maybe this is it, Henry. Maybe this is it. Oh, you're not looking.
Oh, I'm plugged in. Hang on. What am I looking at? Hold on. I'm on the YouTube bit. Where are you? Maybe. Oh, yeah. Maybe. Oh, that's what I sent you, isn't it?
Oh, probably. No, yeah. I got that.
Oh, you got that? Mate. Ooh, might be. I got that model. I'll talk about it on the next episode. Actually, I got that not solar auxilia mini came through, so we can show that off on the next one. But yeah, nice job. What's up next, man? Boom, and I'll try and remember the stories. Oh, I love this. Andrew's posted up a bunch of his Sisters of Battle stuff, including like a canoness as well, I think. But I love what he's done, like by making the halo light thing around the head. It's just so clever and so nicely executed. It's brilliant. It's really, really cool. I've not seen it before particularly on a what's clearly someone's gaming army.
Very nice.
It's just cool, right? Man. Like spotlight, but not gimmicky. Just lovely. Like I would really, really like to see these. Look, here we go. Classic. Well, sort of a classic canoness. Yeah, really lovely. Really, really lovely.
Makes me want to finally paint my Sister of Battle army.
Oh, mate.
I would love one. I would love one.
It's the old one. It's the 1997 full 2,500 points of metal. Old immolators in old rhinos.
I love them.
All Jez sculpts.
But to be fair, right, that new range.
Oh yeah, new range.
90% of it is really good. I think there's a few duffers in the vehicles, maybe, but most of it is beautiful. Ben's got a massive commission on at the minute. He's taking it on of Sisters, and he's just every day he's like, "Oh, Sisters are quite cool." I was like, "Yeah, I know, like really good." I think both Andy and I have both built quite a lot with the intentions to.
I painted one, mate. Remember, I did 20
to paint. I did the box. What's it called? Combat Patrol.
Yeah, I did those 20 gold ladies, and
yeah. It's just good. No time. But yeah, go and check out. And Andrew, we haven't got Andrew's social tag.
Linked it
there,
anywhere.
So if you want to see it, go check out the Discord. The Discord's not Patreon or anything. It's anybody can drop in, and it's a lovely chill place. So long may that continue. What's up next? What
up next is?
So we featured orcs recently. This army's growing and growing. This is I think one of their newest minis. I think he came out in like one of those book and a mini type releases that they did. But love it. Love this tone on the orc skin as well. Think it's
banned
really cool.
from GD. Right. Orange not allowed.
There we go.
But it's cool.
Is it orange?
It's kind of yellowy browny.
It would probably be banned. I love orange orcs the best. So
Yeah. Well, you might like what's coming up shortly, actually. But yeah, really, really cool. And this person's orc army again just looks outstanding. I can't wait to see. Well, I say I can't wait to see. I hope I get to see it in person. So yeah, go check it out. We did a load of killer cans the other week from it. Right, next. Oh,
Right.
Square basing. The old world. It's perfection. So happy. Yeah, lovely. This been painted for. There's a cracking old world podcast called Square Based. Really enjoy, and they run a monthly painting comp. And this person that entered these into, I think it was Command Group this year. But Matt, you can't tell me that goblin in the middle. That's not like one of the best goblins ever.
It's a good one.
It's just perfect.
These old Night Goblin models are
the perfect amount of detail, right?
Yeah.
For something you've got to paint 700 of.
When they're like full rank and file in a movement tray.
Oh, mate.
You don't like.
How good are
they
the
look so
non-metallics
good.
on the sword, though?
It's just great, right? It's just great painting for models that are like size of your thumbnail. I rebased a unit of 30 of them a few weeks ago. My fingers have just about recovered from all the spiky bits on them. But yeah, I came off worse than they did, put it that way. But they were all super glued to their bases, so I had to like clip and carve them off the bases to get them on the bigger ones. But yeah, really cool. And honestly, if this is how they're going to paint their army, then just behave.
Yeah, I don't want to play against that.
That's
Make my army look turd.
hell of an effort, eh? Right, what's up next, bud?
Up next is.
Oh, so this one I wanted to put in. Big congratulations, big thumbs up. This person's first dreadnought, which I think is a pretty momentous day in any hobbyist's life.
Won't be your last.
But you know, I feel like it's a big milestone painting a dreadnought, and I mean this completely sincerely. So yeah, fair play. It's my favourite of the 3 new Tubbier dreadnoughts.
It's when you move up from that, like, oh, I painted a Space Marine. Oh, this kit is now massive,
right? But also iconic. Like, you know,
Yeah.
there's we spoke about it before. Maybe we'll do an episode on it. But like, I feel like there is a sort of top 10 list of minis you should paint. You know, when it comes to, and I feel like you've got to put a dreadnought in there, surely.
Yeah. I wish my first dreadnought looked as good as this.
Can you remember your first dreadnought?
Yeah. I mean, I was probably like
I got a story.
7 at the time when I built it. So it wasn't built very well.
I did an Eldar Warwalker. That was the closest I got to a dreadnought when I was a kid. And it was the metal one. And I tried to glue it. So I remember we were on a holiday in this like really like cold cottage in Scotland. And I was miserable, like 11-year-old or whatever, that didn't want to do anything but except play with his Warhammer. And I tried no, not really. tried to a bit more grey hair. But I tried to glue this Eldar Warwalker together. So I had it there in the white polystyrene thing, getting it all out. And all I had was Yoo-hoo glue.
Oh no!
Which it turns out not great. It might say it can bond metal, but didn't. You know, you'd glue it, you'd look fine, you'd leave, and you'd come back in, and it just.
But you had your blood effects done for you, didn't you?
There you go. Well, I don't think that was even a thing back then, mate. That was before anyone had even gone. Oh, I wonder what happens if I stick a bit of red ink on this. Anyway, what were you going to say?
I converted as a maybe 9 or 10-year-old the epic scale warlord. Was it the warlord? It was an epic scale titan.
Yeah.
And I converted that into a normal dread because I thought, oh, that gun looks like an assault cannon. That's good enough. Whacked a power claw on it.
Beautiful.
And it was for my Imperial Fists. So I sprayed it white with a can. And then I just put yellow ink all over it. And that were it done. What a load of junk.
1990s heavy metal.
I did the Night Lords one as well, you know, with the scourge, the big sideways
scourge.
hand.
That was my favorite one.
I've still got it.
Really cool. But that's great. The Lucius pattern warlord you're on about from Epic 40k was man, one of my absolute favorite minis of that era. I really hope they'll redo the Lucius patterns. I'm excited about that.
I think I did the lightning on the Night Lords of Tipex, maybe.
Nice.
I think
strong.
Oh dear.
Look, Matt. Look, we didn't have as much to work with. Okay, it was
It's not that far off. I was still hobbying in the 90s.
No, we've already established you're only.
I did Bale
10s.
tan as well with a permanent marker, like black
Mm.
pen to do the thorns.
Yeah,
I was
that's
like,
big
how else
brain-
did you
that's,
do it?
That's big brain painting, that though, mate.
How else
lot
do
of
you do
people
these
break,
thorns? You can't
yeah.
do that with a paintbrush.
break the micro pens out and stuff, eh? Right, Matt, we're nearly there.
Okay.
Couple more because we're
Couple
creeping
more.
on.
You sent loads over.
Well, it's a month, isn't it? So we've got more to look at now. Had to put this one in, not just because I think it looks super cool. But this person had taken forever to try and get the red right in their head, like of what they wanted to look like. So they'd done the
It's a struggle.
Photoshop thing of pulling it from artwork, like you often do, Andy. But I just thought it read of all the Space Marine chapters, I feel like Blood Angels is one that everyone's got their own interpretation of it, of what's right. So I think finding your red for them is really difficult. And yeah, I'm just chuffed for them that they've done it. And I just think it's really, really, really cool style they've gone for.
I like the glowy green eyes. That's a choice.
Yeah,
Good
I think
choice.
It'll be a really great looking army. This, so yeah, fair play. Because it's frustrating, right, Sons, when you've got it in your head the color you want it, and you just can't quite
So
realize it
worst.
on the mini.
I spent 2 days painting a rock because I couldn't get the right color. A rock. It was unbelievable. I think I repainted it 5 times, which is insane.
Nice.
Like, what color is a rock?
You've painted a fair few of them before as well, to be fair.
I still can't get it right.
It's all right, mate. You're improving.
Slowly.
You should be proud of yourself. What's up next, Matt? Oh, here we go. Here's your orange orc, or ogre. Our man Hui. Yeah, cracking painter. Love that shadow on the thigh.
I'm waiting for the delay so I can see it on my broken computer, but it'll come eventually. I've got it. Oh yeah,
Right?
that's amazing. Yeah,
It's pucker, isn't it? Like, yeah, big fan of that. I didn't think to note where the miniature was from, actually, which is
It's
maybe
Hera.
Hera. It is Hera. Yeah, I thought so. Yeah, cracking.
Eric
really
did the
cracking.
box art, I think.
And yeah, I say my favourite's the shadows, the painting on shadows. I think they're fab. And you're right, like orcs with. I mean, I still think I like GW green skins, but I do love when you see orcs in different coloured skin. Yeah, super cool. Right, couple more.
There is 1, 2, 3 more.
3 more. Let's
So
have a look.
Next up is, I love this.
What we got? Oh, right. So this person's done a few more of these. If you go down the thread, like as the months have gone on. But this was the first one I came across in September. I know very, very little about this, but I know it's Pokemon.
It's an Abra,
right?
Psychic.
And obviously, I don't know whether I really should have done the research. I don't know whether he's sculpted these.
Just ask me,
and done
mate.
it. But what a cool idea to do the cards and then sculpt and have them coming out of them. I just think it's super fun. And actually, yeah, I really say go and check them out, and see the different ones they've done. It's just a lovely idea to combine, those hobbies. But yeah, I've no idea. It isn't Pikachu. Is
I
it?
like how he's done
Abra, mate.
the first edition artwork.
Is that what it is? Right. So
Yeah.
He turns into Kadabra and then he turns into Alakazam.
right. So in that case, I think he's done them then. I
Yeah,
think that's what he's
he's
done.
done
He's
Discord, he's done all the 3 of them.
Yeah, he's done the series of it.
Starts to get the spoons.
Just fab. Like this is the type of thing I really hope we see at MPO and stuff. Like
I've got
it's
one on the go,
creative.
mate.
It's lovely. Any different way of presenting miniature painting, yeah, just love it. All over it. So
I really
yeah,
want to do
I think
a
this
realistic one.
gave me the biggest kick. I think this one.
Yeah.
There's a on one of the Reddits ages ago, there was an artist that drew Pokemon in as they would look if they were kind of real.
Oh,
the scary one.
That's a bit creepy.
Terrifying.
Yeah. Someone's saying it's a 3D print. That's cool.
Yeah, you can get them pretty easy from various. I've seen a lot of people do them.
Cool.
Actually, someone tried to give me one, but it wasn't a Pokemon to my liking, so I rejected it. But I've got a. I thought I want to paint a Pokemon. I wonder if you can get a 3D file of them. Turns out you can get amazing ones for like £1, which blew my mind. So I even looked for quite an obscure one, and yeah, £2. Amazing sculpt. I was like, I'll get that then. But yeah, I want to paint it in a really realistic style with my little fur texture. So it'll be quite fun, I think.
Love it. Do it. Absolutely. Absolutely. What's up next, Matt? I think I know the two that are left now. Yeah, loving this. Just weird, weird anthropomorphicness. Yeah, I don't really know what to say. I mean, this is the kind of quality sometimes that's just getting dropped in the Discord channel. I think it's wonderful. Again, I should have done my research. It's very late. You know, the fact that we're even
Lovely
still talking
ferns.
coherently, we're still. Yeah, I thought you'd get a kick out of that, right?
Love a nice set of
and
ferns.
moss, right? Really good moss. But yeah, not sure where it's from. Not sure how big it is. All I know is it looks frigging cool. And yeah, need to go and have a look. I had an urge to get some more anthro. I could do accounts as Beastman Army and use all sorts of weird third party anthropomorphic stuff. And then I think closing out, I had done this one for our Rich, but he's not here. I think it's a Space Marine, isn't it? Yeah,
It is.
Can't not stick a Space Marine in there. It's just great, eh? This is I think this was from the Easy Build
Yeah.
Assault guys, which I still think is the best Primaris sort of intercessor kit. And yeah, it's just lovely. This person does loads of really great stuff. Like they pump it out. So they're a good account to follow.
Opposite to their
sort of thing.
URL or whatever it's called.
Yeah,
Handle.
definitely right. It's definitely irony there or whatever.
Terribly good.
But don't you think the base is cool? Like I kind of like how the base is not remotely subtle. Like, you know, some people might put like like I do, like a piece of sprue with a bit of paperclip in the end and be like, oh, that's enough. I'll just do a bit of concrete and rebar and it's done. And this guy's like, nah, hang on. Just does a whopping great chunk.
I do love that in 40,000 years' time, we're still going to be using concrete and rebar.
Yeah, but this is like mega concretum. And
it's an ancient
and
relic,
whatever,
Matt. Like, you know, the pyramids and that. It's a car park, multi-story.
Kind of a king
It's
buried under a
rustier
car
than my
park.
van, mate. But yeah. Oh, here we go. Pokemon cards are from ABC 3D models. There we go. It's easy. So terrible work producing fantastic work. Exactly right, Dungeons and Dragons. There you go. So yeah. Can you win a GD without having an MM?
Yes.
Yep.
There we go. And on that bombshell, we'll close out. So if you guys have got anything you would like us to cover, whether you've got accounts, events, anything like that, you think we should take a look at, you can get in touch with us at all of the usual places. Who just asked the question about NMM? Totty. We've covered it on quite a few previous GD shows, Totty, so if you want to go and check those out in the playlist, we'll go into that in a lot more detail. But yeah, in short answer, absolutely. But yeah, guys, thanks ever so much for joining us for this episode. No, it's been quite a long one. I think our monthly ones probably will be more of this length now. Really excited about the one coming out at the end of the month. But yeah, there's plenty of time to get in touch with us if there's things that you'd like us to include. Anything you wanted to say, guys, that we haven't?
Nope. See you at the next GD.
Yeah.
This was great. Great weekend. Can't wait.
Can't wait for this one. Right.
Yeah.
Well, fantastic. Well, thanks, chaps. Thanks, chat. Take care. We'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.